Hello everyone, Tina here for Papertrey Ink. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to create a fun card. I think it's going to be a just because card. We're using the new cover plate. This is the jumbo dots. I love this. I'm also going to be using the brand new Love to Layer Alluring Brackets. These are so pretty and I love the detail in there. For my sentiment, I'm going to be using the Papertrey ink. These are new, part of the latest release at the Papertrey ink shop. This has been in the shop for a while. This is the Inside Greeting Everyday stamp set, and I thought we would stamp I Miss Your Face. I love that sentiment. So we'll be using this on our card today, along with the Tuck It Dad stamp set. This has been in the shop for a while too. It's not part of the new release, but it's pretty fabulous. I am partial to the tennis racket in here, and I have an idea that we're gonna create with this and the rest of our elements here. We're gonna start by doing a little bit of ink blending, and then we'll die cut out a couple of backgrounds with our cover plate jumbo dots. So I have some white cardstock here. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Stencil mat because it just makes it easier for when I ink blend. And the inks that I'm going to be using today are some bright summery. We have 3 different colors. We have Lemon Tart, New Leaf, Hawaiian Shores, and Blueberry Sky. I think all 3 of these will ink blend really well together. And so we're going to start off with our Lemon Tart ink. I'm going to go over the bottom here. And I'm going to kind of fade up a little bit. Our next color is New Leaf. We are going to add some color just above that yellow. Next we're going to use Hawaiian Shores. We'll add a little color above this. And then for my last color, we're going to go in with Blueberry Sky, and we're going to color in that top section. I think these are some nice, fun summer colors. Now our background is colored in. I'm going to remove this, and then we're going to take our cover plate die, and we are going to die cut this out. And then while we're die cutting this out, I'm also going to take another panel and we'll die cut out another panel with the cover plate. I ran this through my die cut machine, and now I'm going to punch out the larger sections. I'm going to punch out all the circles that I can pop up with some foam squares. So we have just a few. There's 3 of them that I left in that I'm not going to pop up with foam tape. We're going to pop up all of these with some foam tape. But I'm going to go ahead and take this panel, flip it around. I'm going to add some glue behind here, and we're going to adhere this to an A2 size card base. Now's the fun part. We're going to take all of our spots, and rather than popping them up in the same color section, what we're going to do is put them in the opposite section, and it will basically a different color section. So what I like to do is take some foam adhesive and put it in all of the sections here. Now this did take a little bit of time to put foam squares in all of there, but now's the easy part. What we're going to do is we will add our dots and just inlay them in the different sections that coordinate. Some of the sections will have to have the same ones, like the ones on the side, although we could switch these 2 out. But like the corners, you'd have to use the same one because the corners aren't the same. We have a background field. There's a few that I added extra ink to. That would be this one and this one. just to give it a different color gradient. Now I also want some white in my background. That's why we die cut out a second panel. And what we're going to do is take the smaller circles, and we're going to add the smaller circles using glue. We're going to add the smaller white circles to the larger circles that we popped up, just for extra playfulness. I ended up needing one more circle here, so I die cut out another panel. And again, I'm not worried about these two because these are going to be covered. Now, before I put this away, I'm going to use my same inks, and I'm going to add some color to them. I'm going to add a little yellow to one. I'm going to take my lemon tart ink. I'm going to go over one and ink that up. And then I'm going to add a little bit of green, my new leaf, to the other side. And then we will punch that out, and we're going to use that one. Okay, so we can save these for backgrounds on another card. Now we're going to do some stamping with our Tuck It Dad stamp set. And I mentioned that tennis racket. I'm not even going to bring out my stamping positioner because this is going to be easy, so easy to stamp. I'm going to take the base of my racket and I'm going to stamp it with my True Black ink. I'm going to stamp it twice. We're going to make 2 rackets. Wonderful. I'm going to take the netting part of our racket and I'm going to stamp that with the same True Black ink. I'm going to stamp that right on the inside. I love the detail in that. I don't know if you guys can see that, those small crisscrosses. Okay, now we're going to do our handle. In our stamp set, we have the racket handle here. I'm going to stamp my handle with my Blueberry Sky ink on one of them. And then on the other one, I'm going to stamp with my New Leaf ink. And I stamped my handle upside down, so I'm going to redo that. But I'm going to die cut these out. While we're die cutting, I'm also going to take the Alluring Brackets here. I'm going to die cut out the largest 2. One of them I'll die cut out with white cardstock. And then the other one I'm going to die cut out with a piece of vellum. So I'll finish with my die cutting and we'll be right back. Now my rackets are die cut, and I do want to mention that you want to make sure that your handle is facing the right way, because the die is going to basically tell you which way the handle goes. So this second area here I put towards the top, it's supposed to be on the opposite side, like here. So I had to re-stamp that. I mean, it looks good either way, but for the die to cut it perfectly, you'd want to flip it around. Okay, we have our vellum piece and we have our bracket. I'm going to layer both of these together. Wonderful. And then I'm going to take our tennis rackets and we're going to crisscross them right in the center. For my sentiment, I mentioned that we're going to be using the Everyday Sentiments. And I'm going to stamp, I have a tennis partner that I miss, so I'm going to stamp I Miss Your Face. And I'm going to stamp it on our scratch paper, and then I will block this off. I'm going to stamp it with my black ink. Second time's the charm. This is why I like stamping positioners. Beautiful. And I will block this off, kind of evening it out. I decided to create a banner with this, and to do that it's very easy. I'm going to flip over and add some adhesive to the left and right of my greeting, and then I fishtailed the ends of the strips here. What we're going to do is, it's about maybe a 3/4 inch strip, and all I do is tack it down a little bit lower maybe. Just making sure it's straight. And it creates a nice little banner. Just make sure your fishtails are the right way. So we have a nice little banner. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to put some foam tape behind here. Okay, we're going to bring back our card base. I'm going to add some adhesive to the reverse side here. And we're going to tack just behind the area where the vellum isn't. And then we will tack this down in the middle. And then with this piece, I thought we would add a foam square behind it. I did end up switching out this dot for another one since we have lots of them. Instead of green and yellow, I decided to go blue and yellow. I think it went better with my card here. And we are going to go ahead and add that right on the tennis rackets. Make the perfect tennis ball. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of my Glossy Accents. We're going to add a little dimension to that dot turned tennis ball. It's going to give us some dimension. And that will finish off my card today for Papertrey ink. I think it's a fun card. We got a lot of tennis balls on there. But a great way to use the jumbo die. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous day. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.